Hi everyone, I'm Shelly and you're watching There's No Place Like Home. I was trying to decide what topic I should cover today, and I thought that I would look back on some of the suggestions that some of you had left for me on one of my community posts. So today I'm going to be answering the question of what my homeschool graduates are doing today. I'm finding that this is really a topic of interest for a lot of people because there are a lot of people who think that kids who are homeschooled and who graduate from homeschooling will only ever be able to get a job, say, in the fast food industry or some sort of what other people would consider to be low-level jobs, which I am not putting down at all because we do need people working in the service industry. But I thought that I would just dispel some of those myths. Now, first of all, I have to say that I am not a parent who pushes college on my kids. I believe that college is overrated. I think that is a lot of money wasted on college. Yes, there are definitely professions that you do want someone to go to college for, like who would want to see a doctor who never went to college for that? So yes, there is definitely a place for it, but for my kids, it was always a matter of if you would like to go, I will support you. If you choose not to go, I will support that as well. So really, now my oldest son, he did not graduate from homeschooling. He is my only child that graduated. He's not a child anymore. He's 27, but he is my only kid that did not graduate from homeschool. He graduated from public school, although he was homeschooled for 2 years. He was homeschooled in 9th and 10th grade. So I thought that just for that reason and because of an interesting anecdote that I would just include him as well. So my 27-year-old who was homeschooled for 9th and 10th grade, he decided that he wanted to join the Army Reserves after he graduated high school. So when he went in to take the ASVAB test, the recruiter or whoever it was who gave him the ASVAB test asked him if he had been homeschooled, and my son said yes, that he had been homeschooled for 9th and 10th grade, and the recruiter actually said to him that he could tell because kids in our school district never score as high on the ASVAB test as my son did, which I found interesting because it's not like I was trying to prepare him for that. But anyway, so he was able to he pretty much had the pick of the litter for whatever, career option he would want to use while he was in the Army. So he chose military police. So he was in the reserves for 6 years. After he got out of the Army Reserves. I mean, obviously he was working in between there, but after he was completely discharged, then he was still in reserves. He started attending college. He did get his associate's degree. And then he decided to take a break. And so right now what he is doing is he is actually working with my husband. He works in the same foundry as my husband. He is planning on going back to college for his bachelor's degree. He really has an interest in becoming a writer, or possibly a teacher, which I'm going to be honest, I was kind of trying to discourage him about that, just because of the whole atmosphere of what the teachers go through nowadays. But anyway, so the reason that he's not doing it right now, though, is just because he said that he can't see paying full price for a college when you can't even attend in person. So that has really kept him back from doing that. So that is what he is doing right now. So my oldest daughter, she was my first homeschool graduate. She was actually planning on going to college last semester. She wanted to major in software engineering, and then the whole COVID thing happened, and she decided that she was just going to wait until the whole thing is over with. So right now what she is doing is she works for a hotel, and she also does commissioned artwork, and she does really, really well with that. And then he's my third child, but second homeschool graduate. He also works with my husband. I told my husband that they have to name their company after like our family because we have so many family members working there now. So yeah, so my son, and this is my son that has ADHD, and I've mentioned him a few times. He's 20 now, and he never had much confidence. When he was in school, it was kind of his confidence level was beaten out of him, not physically, but mentally. And so he always had issues with just his own image of how he saw himself. But he is actually working right next to my husband. He makes very good money for a 20-year-old. And that isn't despite him having ADHD, which is, in fact, it's probably better for him to have a very physical job because he is able to move around all the time. And now my fourth child and my third homeschool graduate. She's 19 now, and she actually also just got a job working at the same place as my husband, but she is actually an engineering admin. So that's what she's doing. So as you can see, homeschooling has not held any of my kids back. They're all doing very well for themselves, and I couldn't be prouder of them. That's all that I have for you today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet and would like to hear more of what I have to say, I would love if you would do that. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them over on Instagram or possibly here on YouTube, because they've been giving me comments. And if you like my work and would like to check out my Patreon page, I will leave a link in the description box for that as well. And I hope you have a great day.